Hi guys, this is a quick recap of what we did in class today. So for the purpose of this video, I'm using period 6, but this is the same no matter what class you are in. So if you look at the agenda for today, you'll see that there's a PDN. I suggest that you do the PDN for this one simply because it has pictures in it of the Ladies' Home Journal, which is the subject of the poem that we read today. So taking a look at these pictures and thinking a bit about what version of the American dream these pictures show, and whether or not that version of the dream still exists in our current time period, will help you to understand the poem better. So take a look at that. Oops. And then afterwards, the main activity today was reading and understanding Sonnet, the Ladies' Home Journal, which is a poem, answering some questions about it, and completing an exit ticket. So if you look in your classwork tab, you will see that there is an assignment at the bottom of cycle 17 called The Sonnet and the American Dream. When you open up that Google Doc, this is what you'll see. So the first thing that we went over is what exactly a sonnet is. A sonnet is a 14-line poem. It is a poem that uses rhythm and rhyme to give it a song-like quality. So some of the poems we've been reading lately have not really had rhythm and rhyme. They've been free verse. The sonnet is a much more restricted form, so it has rhythm and it has rhyme. It usually focuses on a single specific topic, and it contains a shift in plot or tone in the final lines. So the poem will be talking about one thing and then shift to a different thing, or it will be giving one feeling and then shift to a different feeling. So we'll take a look at what that might mean in this poem today. You have probably heard sonnets before and might not have realized what they were. Shakespeare wrote a ton of them, so if you ever did Shakespeare in any other ELA class, you have probably read a sonnet. It might have been this one that is reproduced here. So you can see this is 14 lines long. The lines are about the same length, which suggests that they have a rhythm to them that is matching. And if you look at the words at the end of the lines, you can see the rhyme. Day and may, shines, declines, fade, shade. So there is end rhyme that is very clear here. Now, in order to hear the rhythm and rhyme emphasized, we watched it on a YouTube video. So I'm not sure that this would play on a screencast, but it is a man rapping the words of Sonnet 18 in a way that makes it very clear how the rhythm and rhyme works. So take a look at that. Okay, so now we're looking at the author of the poem that we are looking at today. Her name is Sandra Gilbert. She is obviously much more contemporary than Shakespeare. She is still living today. She was born in New York City. She has been an author, a professor, and a political activist. Has served as president of the Modern Language Association, which is a writing group. Received a bunch of awards for writing. Her poetry is known for its grace and formal structure. So instead of writing in free verse, she chooses to write things like sonnets. Gilbert is a leading feminist literary critic, and she includes her feminist views in much of her writing. So, based on what you know about feminism and the views of feminists, think about that being part of the mindset of this author. So as you read the poem, there are two things you need to annotate to get points for that portion of the assignment. You need to underline an example of imagery. Imagery is language that creates a mental picture or image. So you want to underline a line or two where she describes something that you can really see clearly in your mind. The second thing you need to do is highlight in yellow a strong word, look up its definition, and put that definition in a comment. So that means if, say, I thought that mouse was a strong word, I would highlight it, click on it. In here, there's the define option that I've told you guys about. So you're going to just copy and paste the definition, click add comment, and now you have defined your one word. Obviously, you will pick a word that is actually in the poem. I'm just doing that one as an example. All right, so I'm going to read this out loud, and then I will go over which questions you are responsible for answering. Sonnet, the Lady's Home Journal. The brilliant stills of food, the cozy, glossy, bygone life, mashed potatoes posing as whipped cream, a neat mom conjuring shapes from chaos, trimming the flame. How we ached for all that dance of love in the living room, those paneled walls, that kitchen golden as the inside of a seed. How we leaned on those shiny columns of advice, stroking the thank yous, the firm thighs, the wise closets full of soap. But even then, we knew it was lies we loved, the lies we wore like Dior coats, the clean-cut, airtight lies that laid out our lives in black and white. So you're going to annotate that poem by underlining imagery and highlighting and defining a word you do not know. Then you're going to answer these 4 questions. So the first one is in lines 2 to 3, the mashed potatoes are posing as whipped cream. What is that image trying to make you think about? So if you need to know what lines 2 and 3 are, just look for the same colored highlighting. That's light orange. The second one asks you to figure out where do you think the poem shifts. Pick which line. And then talk about what kind of change happens there. Is it shifting in subject or in tone? Number 3, what message is the author trying to give in lines 12 and 13 that are highlighted in blue? And finally, in lines 13 and 14, highlighted in green, what does it mean that the lies are clean-cut and airtight? Once you have answered those, you're going to click on this link to go to your exit ticket. The exit ticket question is just one question here. What does the author of Sonnet, Lady's Home Journal think about the American dream shown in the magazine, the Lady's Home Journal? Make sure once you've done the exit ticket that you also turn in this doc, and then you are done for the day.